Run it back.
Ready?
Keep it light.
There's so many out there, you just don't know.
Which ones to watch and when to say no. That's why Ryan and
Andrew
watch so you don't have to. And we're on.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
It's episode 7 of
I did it again.
We Watch So You Don't Have To.
Yeah.
You'll
No,
get
I
it.
know.
Otherwise known as WWSYDHT.
No, that's wrong.
8.
No,
or
WW
something like that.
S. Oh, yeah, you had it right. Sorry, dude.
I think I messed it up as you were correcting me.
At what point is it embarrassing if I can't figure out the name of our own? Like, I know it.
Probably around like episode 7, I would say.
Okay, right around there.
Yeah.
I feel like I know it, but then as soon as we record, I completely forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right. Well, what do we watch today?
We actually watched a good movie.
Oh yeah.
This time.
Yeah,
No.
It was pretty good.
No.
The movie was Trespass.
Whoa. Yeah. Starring Nic Cage.
I was just doing Trespass
I know.
because there's so many S's.
S's, I caught that.
Yeah.
But they don't know.
No, they won't.
Nicolas Cage is in this movie and Nicole Kidman.
Those are two big stars.
Huge stars.
Huge stars.
So this movie was a box office slam, I bet.
Yeah, it should have been easy, right?
Yeah.
Nope. And I'll tell you, and you know why? This movie, this is going to be a tough one, actually. Well, let me start by saying don't watch this movie. If you're unfamiliar with what's happening right now, I think this is validation that this podcast needs to exist more than anything.
Yeah. Now I feel like I'm serving a greater purpose, I feel. I hated this movie, and nobody should ever have to watch this movie.
It was...
I'm sorry. Hated it.
It took every single freedom it wanted to with logic, and I wish
there
there
was like teleportation happening.
No, there wasn't.
Kind of.
That-
David Blaine stuff.
That's actually good. Oh, that's a good theory. We should get into it. Let's tell them what the movie's about. They're probably sitting here. They're like, well, what the hell is this movie about, guys?
Yeah. So
Why don't you? You wanna?
I think I did the last one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. What is this movie about? This movie is about big shot diamond dealer Nicolas Cage,
Whoa.
married to Nicole Kidman,
Rare.
a somewhat unhappy housewife considering how much Nicolas Cage works selling diamonds all over the place. And
He's on the phone all the time.
well, he's got to sell those diamonds, dude.
Yep.
They're not going to sell themselves.
He's hustling.
You know how hard it is to sell a diamond? No one wants them.
Why?
Because they're just a rock.
That's true.
And he's got to be constantly wheeling and dealing, being like, someone buy these diamonds.
Yeah.
So it's not easy being him, first of all. Second of all, they got a teenage daughter. So, teenage daughter, you know what happens? A lot of angst, a lot of conflict. It's got that going
Nobody's
for it.
paying attention to her. She's always like, "Mom, Dad, you just don't understand me." I think
You just don't understand me.
parents just don't understand.
Is that a Jazzy Jeff
Yeah.
reference?
Good catch.
Nice. Hey, shout out to Jazzy Jeff if you're listening.
Yeah, should have been on the soundtrack for that one, or the score, or whatever.
Oh, don't get me
Let's not
started.
get back to that.
Where was I? I was explaining this great movie. Okay. And so anyways, basically, to cut it short, some people invade the house. They're dressed as cops. They open the door. And the whole movie is about trying to get Nicolas Cage to open the safe. And then a lot of different crazy turns start happening that aren't like crazy turns in the cool, like thoughtful, good writing type of way, but just sort of like...
Bizarre, inexplicable.
Yeah.
turns.
And just like, it's always three too many things where you're like, okay, I'm just dizzy from this ride now, like, make it end. Yeah, and so, I don't know, some stuff happens. You learn that, like, some of the intruders are...
In fact, some of the hostages.
In some way hostages. I don't want to get too deep into it. Just know that the whole movie plays out where Nic Cage, Nicole Kidman, and her daughter are held hostage in the house. They're trying to get Nicolas Cage to open the safe to get the diamonds because they need money. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, because of a deal that went sour when they got robbed for like $180,000 or something. So they became part of this scheme.
You find that out so much later too, which is crazy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like subplots going on, and then the affair with one of the burglars who was like a security guard, and so that's how you knew like the password to get into the house and all this stuff.
Can we actually talk about that one thing? I didn't think about it until you just brought it up just now.
Sure.
Okay, so this is gonna be tough because the listeners have 2 minutes worth of context of this whole movie, but I'm going to try and like put it into
I think you summarized the entire thing pretty much. That's the whole movie.
Yeah, but I don't want to be misleading here. It was not exciting. So if you enjoyed any part of my description and you're like, that seems kind of cool, I think we'll explain throughout this whole podcast some of the stuff that happens, and you'll kind of get why it's absolutely outrageous and not watchable.
It's terrible.
No, I want to talk... Okay, so if you're a bad guy and you set another bad guy up, basically what this guy does is he lends $180,000 worth of drugs to this guy to sell.
Right.
Then he orchestrates a theft of those drugs, and then goes to the guy and is like, hey, you need to pay me back for those drugs now. And so now he owes him, he has to go get $180,000. Well, when he goes to rob the guy for $180,000, you don't go with him.
Yeah, that was weird that he was there. That's a good point.
Entire unnecessary... In fact, if you're going to do that, you should just do it yourself.
That's a good point. I think they wanted him there to just better kind of explain the story, but logically,
exactly.
To your point, it doesn't make sense.
But that's what I'm saying. Everything that happens in this movie...
You had to be introduced to that character, though.
Yes.
So therefore he was there.
Yes. Everything that's done is confusing to the viewer, but it's done illogically only in order to not have to do other things to actually explain the movie through the normal visual media.
Right.
Like, for instance, the fact that they wore, like, sort of haphazard, like, face masks. Like, they didn't really try too hard to cover their face.
No.
Well, that's so that they could make eye contact, and it could be like, oh, Nicole Kidman recognizes the one robber who she was having an affair with. It's like, just wear full face masks, dude.
I know, it was so weird. And then after that realization happened, they just took off the masks. Just like, don't need these anymore, I guess.
Yeah, so you should have never worn them.
Right. They just gave them up so quickly.
Or wait, was that after they turned off the security footage?
Do you think that's why?
Maybe.
Oh.
Well,
shit, that would explain it. I thought that they were just like getting cozy, and they're like, well, we're going to be here for a while, because...
Now I'm worried, is this movie smarter than...
Is this going to be like another American Psycho 2, where we're like, this movie was pretty smart?
Oh, dude, do you think this is like, do you think this is like the syndrome where we're kidnapped and we're starting to sympathize with our kidnappee?
No way.
Like the movie kind of held us hostage for 90 minutes.
That's interesting. But no, I don't think that's what's
I'm starting to like it more, though.
Yeah, I mean,
and I
whenever we do these podcasts, it makes me think like, oh, that movie wasn't so bad, but that's because we're like making it better. That's not true.
That's not true. You said so many times that you hated this movie so much. It's all you talked about while you were watching it.
But by the end of this podcast, I might actually, I don't know, I might watch it again.
What's the word, by the way? Why am I so stupid right now? Like, what is the word for when you fall for your captor?
Stockholm.
Yeah.
That's okay. Words.
No, I'm good at words. That's the problem. Let's just let that one go.
So they're basically stuck, the burglars, at this house for so long because they thought that
they were going to get bad guys.
Bad guys, yeah.
Remember how the bad guys?
They were the bad guys. And they were trying to get Nic Cage to open up his safe to, get all these diamonds, but things don't go as planned.
No, they don't go as planned. Do you want to start? Should we start a little bit more linearly? Like I know how you like to do, Andrew.
I feel like what's left before that? I mean, I want to jump right in.
There's so much stuff. Can I mention one thing in the beginning? The movie...
How they broke in? No?
I do want to talk about...
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about that, but I was going to say the very start of the movie. The logo comes up, or the title for the movie, which is done in what seemed like a jokey font, but anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's immediately Nic Cage, and it's his voiceover, and it's like an overhead aerial shot of a convertible, and you get the sense that he's on the phone. But I don't know if you noticed this, but every single phone call that happens in the movie is hilarious because it's never giving the person on the other end of the line to actually respond.
I know, it's just him talking. Yeah.
No, but every phone call was, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and like literally, like I noted that one specifically, and then I was like, holy shit! Like they don't know. It's as if, but like these actors have worked on movies before, so they have to be like, well, hold on, that
They have to pause and wait for somebody to like pretend to like respond on the other end of the line. But Nic Cage just kept going and going, like he was having a conversation with himself.
Yeah, he was like, I can assure you they're real diamonds. No, I don't want to lose commission. Yes, I'm calling him now. It's like, what could the person on the other end of the line been saying?
Within that short span of time. Yeah.
Like, it was like,
between.
but the commissions, are you going to call him? Okay. Like, maybe this guy just talks super fast on the other end of the line.
Yeah, it was weird. The first, like, I would say like 5 minutes of the movie was just him talking on the phone. And then it shows the house and Nicole Kidman and the daughter.
He finds that lighter. That lighter turns out to be very important. Spoiler alert. Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Why was that lighter there? Because she threw a party or something?
No, that lighter was there because...
Oh, the affair. God.
Is that why?
No, well, what were you going to say then?
I was going to say because they need it later for the scene.
No, but surely it was there for some reason. Like, who left it there?
Oh, do you think... Oh, my God.
The guy she was having an affair with, because he was hanging out, it was by the pool.
Yes, and he was definitely smoking cigarettes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so mad.
Dude, me too. This movie is smarter than us.
We might need to pause, dude. This is making us look really bad.
Oh, no. We're getting outsmarted by these stupid movies.
No, hold on.
I knew that was
Hold on.
I thought maybe... At that time, because we didn't know about the affair, I thought it was because the daughter, she wanted to go to the party. I thought she was, like, notorious for, like, throwing parties behind her parents' back.
That's what they wanted you... Okay, you know what?
They wanted you to think
This
that.
is not our fault, dude.
Yeah.
We're smart
That was
people.
kinda tricky.
And what happened is, this movie didn't do a good job of letting us slowly over time...
Sure.
It didn't reveal... There was no reveals, right?
Yeah.
It was all, like... Everything was, like, everyone comes out from a corner and is pointing a gun at someone else, and then it's, like... no, you put that gun down, and then someone else is pointing a gun at them. It's like, no, you put that gun down, and it's like, all right, we get it. Everyone's pointing guns at everyone. Jesus.
And then somebody shooting somebody, and then the other person stopping the other. Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
Let's talk about something tangible. I think we're. What do you got?
I love that the security code was like. One code was to set the alarm, the other was to call the police, and they were dangerously similar. One was 7566, the other was 7565.
It's 7466.
How did you remember that?
Well, in case I wanted to break it. If I am ever at Nic Cage's house, dude, I know how to set the alarm.
Call the police and set the alarm. Yeah.
Also, okay, I know it's supposed to be a rich family or whatever, but the daughter had a door that locked from the outside. Has that ever been done?
I thought you were gonna
Inside
make fun of her clothes or something. I know they're a rich family, but she wears clothes from Target or something. I don't know. I didn't know where you were going with that.
Also, okay, are you serious right now?
No.
Target makes affordable... Target makes...
I know. I just didn't know where you were going with that.
Target makes affordable clothes.
There's nothing wrong.
And we would love to have them as a sponsor if they're willing. Just because Andrew made that
anybody
comment,
in the audience who wears Target clothing, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah,
with
there's that too. There's alienating our audience again. Good lord.
I can't help it. So the lock on her door.
No, I was just gonna say, does that exist?
On the outside of her door.
What is the reason for that?
It's like a front door for, like the front door of a house, but for her bedroom. So
she wants...
Which is weird because they're very protective and they're like, no, you can't go to this party. No. They're kind of overbearing, but they give her a lock on her front door.
It's almost
so they can never enter. That's
it's almost
weird.
no. So it's almost the locking from the inside.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. That's an inside lock.
Is there carbon monoxide in here?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, no. So exactly. Yeah. So it's almost invasive. They can get in it. And I don't know, dude. It's weird.
Why does she want to lock her front door when she leaves?
Because stop calling it a front door. It's just the door.
No, I know, but I think of it as a front door because she locks it from the outside. I think it's important to describe it that way.
It's misleading to describe it that way.
Okay, fair enough.
It's her bedroom. It's her bedroom.
The front door of her bedroom. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So, I mean, what happens? Oh, so they try and get Nic Cage to open the safe.
Oh yeah.
And then he starts to like turn the tables on them.
Remember what
he said?
This is gonna get good, dude.
He was like, "Okay, you can steal my diamonds, but who's doing the inscription or something?"
No. Who's gonna cut them?
Who's gonna cut them? Yeah.
You can steal the diamonds, but who's gonna cut them?
That was a good Nic Cage voice, and that's before his voice goes crazy halfway through the movie.
No, his voice is always crazy, dude.
I know, but it gets crazier.
I don't think so.
Totally, it does.
I don't think so.
It does.
If I didn't hate this movie so much, I would go back and I would watch with you and try and prove this, but it's not worth it because
I know that you're wrong on this one.
What would have caused his voice to change so substantially?
All of the suffering, dude. That's Nic Cage's suffering voice. No. Did you see the movie
Passion of the Christ?
Kick-Ass?
Wait. What is that?
Kick-Ass, this nerdy like superhero movie. Anyway, Nic Cage is in it as the father, and in the end, spoiler alert.
Now we're spoiling good movies. I won't have it. We can't spoil good movies.
There's a lot of suffering.
You can't spoil good movies.
Okay, but he did the same voice when he was getting like burned alive. He's like,
just did it. You just did it.
Well, I didn't necessarily say if he lived or died.
You just said he got burned alive.
Yeah,
I'm so mad at you.
He might have actually made it.
I'm so mad at you.
I'm not gonna watch that movie.
Yeah, now I'm not going to watch the movie.
So he convinces the burglars that they can't steal the diamonds because
we're back. By the way, we're back on the movie that we watched for the podcast.
Yes. Because unless the burglars have somebody who's cutting the diamonds, then anybody's going to be able to like trace it back to him and thus to them.
Yeah.
Or something. So he starts like getting into their heads and confusing them, and then
which is not hard to do because they're a very terrible band of robbers.
Yeah, they're just a step above like the minions from Inspector Gadget 2, probably.
Hey, shout out to episode 1 if you guys haven't
check it out.
Haven't listened.
Yeah, and like the main thug guy, like the head burglar guy, is like, "No, shut up," and then the other guy is like, "No, I want to hear more," you know. And so now it's like this weird mind game thing that they have going on. So.
Yeah,
that's kind of what gets the ball rolling with this movie, I guess. Because suddenly it's not like a quick robbery; they're just like, "Crap, we gotta like hang out here."
You know, at one point, actually, in that whole exchange, like, because Nic Cage is okay. We should mention it's gone too far for us. We should have mentioned that Nic Cage plays a nerdy diamond broker. Like he's like.
Whoa, you're offending all the nerds out there. The nerdy diamond brokers.
Hey, I didn't want to say anything earlier, but you said that Kick-Ass movie was some kind of stupid nerd comic movie.
Well, no, because there's nerds. Okay, never mind. The main guy is supposed to be a nerd.
1980s bully? I don't even think nerd is a derogatory term anymore, by the way, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah, that's fair. Go ahead.
Anyways... But Nicolas Cage. So look, he's got this terrible hair, right? He's got this.
Whoa. Okay, go ahead.
Not Nic Cage, the character. Also Nic Cage though.
Yeah.
He does have pretty terrible hair, right?
Yeah.
Ladies, dial in. We'd love to hear.
Ladies,
hear from our lady audience out there. Thoughts on Nic Cage's hair? Sexy or not sexy?
Yeah, and he has these like giant glasses,
right.
Like huge lenses.
In fact, the opening scene is
probably for looking at diamonds.
Oh no! Don't you dare! No. He has bad vision without the glasses, so it's not for the diamonds.
Right.
Okay. So the opening scene when Nicole Kidman and him are like just first interacting is so hilarious because he's got those glasses that you're referencing, but they were like orange aviators, like thick orange like sunglasses.
Yeah.
And he's wearing those inside. And Nicole Kidman is wearing like these clear like teachery glasses. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it feels like somebody just went to their costume box and was like, all right, like here you go. Like
pretty much what I think happened.
Yeah, you were like, these people... I can't rip on that anymore. I want to talk about the scene where he's getting, like, roughed up.
Sure.
And he decides to, like... That's when he's like, who's going to cut the diamonds? And he starts to, like, get a little courage. But he does this, like, hilarious, like fake... Dude, I can't even... I don't know.
Where were you going with that? Remember when they knock his glasses off, like, back to his glasses for a second, and his vision is, like... crazy. It's like he's in a drunken stupor or something. Not just that his vision's blurry, but he's like disoriented and like. I mean, it's classic Nic Cage acting. I love it.
Can we?
It's so good.
We've talked about it for enough. Should we play the clip?
What? No, we haven't even gotten there yet.
Oh.
We haven't talked about his crazy voice. He gets his So this was the best part of the movie.
He has this voice the whole time.
It's the Nic Cage like suffering like.
No, it is not.
Okay, do your like best impression.
It's his normal voice. You do it. You do the better impression.
Stop attacking me and my family.
The bank.
Leave us alone.
The money. There's no money. It's the bank.
I go to the bank. It's like he's shivering and like. There's no money. It's his impression of like a 95-year-old man or something like.
But dude,
in freezing temperature.
He is. I think that is the character they want him to play, and I think that every time he's not doing that voice is not like meant to be like prior to him getting roughed up. It's just like he changes in and out of the voice because he's just not. He's not. Look, I'm the first to say...
He's a great actor, but he forgets what he's doing, I think. Or he's overacting, like overdoing it a little bit.
Forgets what he's doing?
I don't know, yeah.
Probably could have filled that space with... You could have just talked over it or something, but you just... Yeah, no, go ahead. Now you're just clipping all over the track.
Nobody understands that.
Yeah,
anyways, so what was the scene where they're like let's
talk about the
we
lighter.
We have the clip because now I'm at the clip.
We literally said nothing.
To set this up. So yeah, we've described up until this point like Nic Cage is getting into their heads. The burglars haven't gotten the money that they're after or the diamonds, and so now they're getting a little more physical with Nic Cage. They bash his hands. Crippling his hand.
Crippling
it. You know, he's clutching it the whole rest of the movie like, my hand.
They hit it one
my
time.
Hand.
They hit it one time with the butt of a gun.
I know, and so I think we've got a clip that's, right? I think, do we have a clip?
Yeah, here's, this will really put it in perspective, just the type of dialogue and line delivery that is throughout the movie. It's about a minute long, so enjoy. Wrong clip.
Where's the money? I have no money. Bullshit. Where's the stuff? I put it all in my house, in my family. No fucking way. He spent all of that, okay? There was too much fucking cash, Kyle. Okay, I got it. Where's the fucking money? There's no fucking money. Everything is mortgaged. It's all borrowed. We never owned this house. It owned us. We're broke. Bullshit! Family business. I'm not family. Honey, they fired me, honey. They found someone who could do it cheaper. I was just trying to save something before the bank took it all. No, I saw you! Yeah, we saw you, asshole!
It doesn't sound like Nic Cage at all. Why is he doing that with his voice? It's so hilarious, but it's so weird.
By the way, that's
no money.
That's every line in the movie. That's literally how he talks throughout the whole movie.
So, I mean, definitely watch the movie if you're into that. If you found that hilarious, you might actually get a kick.
No. Because other
out
things
of
are happening.
Those parts, you're right. The movie in its entirety is just terrible because there's a lot of stupid stuff happening. Remember, we didn't talk about in the beginning, like, they would cut away to the party. Do you remember how like short that scene was? Like, why was that even there?
Oh yeah, no, it didn't
the
need
daughter
to be
at the party
there was,
for a moment.
It was all filler, dude.
It was
all
such filler.
Okay, I think we need to. They know how he talks now. Yeah. I think there's a couple of other major scenes that we need to make sure we dive into.
How far are we?
Because we can't. This can't be an hour-long episode.
No.
Because it's not. This is no Star Wars holiday special.
Nope.
But there's some hilarious stuff here, and I think it's worth mentioning. So at one point, Nic Cage and his daughter, they're separately their hands are tied with duct tape.
Yeah.
And Nic Cage turns his daughter and says, "Reach in my pocket. There's a lighter."
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Which was the lighter that we talked about from earlier that he found by the pool, like in the opening scene when he comes home.
It's a gold Zippo. It's badass if you're like 12.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Remember how cool?
If you're 12.
Remember how cool Zippos were? Like
Super
just
cool.
like when you're a little kid, you're like, yeah.
So, yeah, he's got this great idea. By the way, their hands are like not handcuffed, but tied with
Not
like,
handcuffed.
It's
That
like,
would have
it's
been
like
smart.
duct tape, right? That's just wrapped around their wrists. And so he has the idea, like, well, I've got this lighter in my pocket.
How does she even reach in his pocket with her hands like that?
Ooh, yeah, that
doesn't make sense.
Maybe like she turned because they were.
Should we prove this? You want to test it?
Should we try it right now?
Yeah. Do you want to see if it's really
I have
possible?
a gold Zippo in my pocket. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
But she somehow reaches into his pocket, grabs the gold Zippo.
Yeah, and then passes it to him.
And then he lights. You think he's gonna light the tape around his wrist?
Nope.
He turns the lighter towards her wrist,
And she is in agony.
Yeah,
her face is just like, and she's like crying. And by the way, the bad guys are standing there.
Has that ever worked? Like, how long would that take to melt like thick layers of duct tape?
I would love
That's
to test
not even
this.
a good idea.
I would love to test this. I think this would just burn the shit out of your wrist and hand.
Yeah. It would cause more harm than good, I think.
Also,
but, you know, Nic Cage,
she had the lighter. She passed it to him, and he lit her. Like,
right?
It's like, way
she
to
could
go.
have just done it herself.
Also, now you're freeing the tiny 80-pound, like, 14-year-old.
Send her to the pack of wolves. You know?
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Oh, remember that scene where the head thug guy like let her escape?
I don't even understand that. Literally, that's one of the many. Okay, now we're actually. It just takes us a little while to get there.
It takes a while.
It takes a little while. All right. I don't know what the fuck that was, and I was watching intently, and it's like, okay, so at one point, Nicole Kidman steals a needle filled with some sort of serum that causes paralysis.
Like a syringe.
Yeah, a syringe. Yeah. It causes temporary paralysis or something. No one... It's never explained why they have it, but they reference that fucking needle, like, 8 times in the movie. And I think it's just literally an extra weapon for them to, like, pull hot... Like, this whole movie is actually just them take... You know what would be awesome? If I was really good at video editing, I would edit every single scene in this movie where there's a quick hostage-taking scene. Most of the movie is just people taking other people hostage.
I know.
And then, like, getting debunked. Like... Or getting whatever.
Yeah, I think each person like held somebody else hostage at least at one point.
Yeah,
like they went through every like permutation, like combination that was out there.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah. So, anyways, let's talk about that. I mean, dude, try to explain it. I'm. This movie's draining me. I don't know.
It's draining me too. Well, I don't know. So I don't know exactly what happened in that scene, but somehow the head thug guy was like, "All right, well, I'll let her." I forget what he said. I'll let her escape.
Nicki Kidman's got the needle up to the one guy's throat.
Oh.
And she's like, "I am going to inject him if you don't let my daughter go." Or no, not even. Like, it's like that guy, the bad guy, did it of his own accord. And then he let her out of the house and then set the alarm, and he's like, "Hurry before I get her back." But it's like, well, you just let her outside, and now she's just going to go.
Yeah, and then they continued kind of talking about whatever, and then I guess the very next scene, you see her like in the fort, like she hopped the fence, she's running through the forest, and then she hears like twigs like breaking or something, and then it's the head thug guy again, the teleportation, which we didn't even talk about that opening scene. Remember what they brought?
That was. It's so tough to explain that.
Oh, and then they brought the daughter back in, and it was like, what? They let her escape for a few minutes, and then they just captured her again and brought her back in. Nobody could ever escape more than, like, 50 yards outside of the home.
The opening scene that you referenced is good. It's when the bad guys first break in. They first tackle Nicolas Cage. Nicole Kidman makes a run for it. She actually gets to the garage and does some crazy fishtail and starts speeding down the driveway. This is like a mansion with a long driveway. The next thing you know, guess what stops her? The writers are like, okay, she drives down the driveway. She's almost about to escape.
I thought she was going to get away for sure.
Well, because why wouldn't she?
Why wouldn't she? You knew mentally, you know where everybody, like all the burglars' locations are. It's like no. She's got the clear path to just get out of there.
Right, but out of all the unlimited possibilities that they can come up with from their imagination, they decide to appear standing in the driveway, Nicolas Cage with the bad guy's like arm around his neck and a gun to his head. It's like
it was like David Copperfield stuff.
Their house
appeared out of thin air. Dude.
Their house has to be designed like the board game of Clue, and they use the secret passageway in the conservatory to like go to the front of the driveway. Right? Because it's like what the
some like secret tunnel that like only they knew about or something.
Yeah. It makes me mad, dude.
It makes me mad too. I hated this movie. It was
okay. We're getting into
it punished you for paying attention.
This is going to be another hour-long episode.
No, it's not. How far are we?
Half an hour.
Oh,
all right. Fine. So, a couple other like as it goes along, I feel like the movie just takes more and more liberties. So, for instance, this guy's house is alarmed. To the
T.
To the T.
Yeah.
Dude, I got no words.
You're exhausted. It's hard because, when this movie, like when the credits ran, I was tired. I wanted to go to bed. It wiped me out.
Yeah. No,
that's what these movies do. So we're trying to be energetic here, but we're dying on the inside.
But the other movies are like zany and like
no,
terrible.
They all sucked.
Yeah,
in their own right.
Yeah. You're right. Don't watch them, everyone. Don't watch them.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? The alarm scene. Okay, so this guy's got this house that's like all about his alarm system, right? Like he's got like a biometric like safe, and he's got like
it's like fingerprint scanners and like touch screen codes for everything, and like super few. It's like Bill Gates' home or something.
Yeah, spares no expense. So what happens when his alarm finally goes off? Well, it flashes to a scene of some schmo sitting on her butt in front of a computer, and she answers the phone, and she's like, "Hello, this is your alarm system. Your alarm went off." And the person is disguising his voice like Nic Cage because apparently this alarm system provides excellent customer service in which they know you personally and your voice, so the bad guy has to disguise his voice.
He should have been like, "Hey, this is Nic Cage." Or whatever his name was in the movie. Kyle, I think.
The bank took it all. What was it? What were some of the other lines from that?
The bank. We didn't own the house. The house owned us. We're broke.
All of that, okay? There was too much fucking cash, Kyle. Okay, I got it. Where's the fucking money? There's no fucking money. Everything is mortgaged. It's all borrowed. We never owned this house. It owned us. We're broke. Bullshit. Family business. I'm not family. Honey, they fired me, honey. They found someone who could do it cheaper. I was just trying to save something before the bank took it all.
That's
so sad.
For the bank took
the bankers at the bank. They took all my monies.
Is this an anti-banking movie?
Could be.
Oh, it definitely is. He references. What's with his trouble with the bank, by the way?
I don't know. What was the deal with the family business and he wasn't family or something?
He just means that he got fired and it's a family business.
Did he really get fired or was he just saying that?
Dude, I don't know. It's rare, honestly, like, it's rare. It's one thing for you to watch a movie and not know what, because sometimes you miss some pretty obvious stuff. I mean, you're a smart guy, but sometimes that stuff in the movies just, like the Minions.
They put on great disguises. Again, episode 1, if you guys haven't checked it out. Watch Inspector Gadget 2.
Stop pushing Inspector Gadget 2.
Tell me what you think about the Minions. If they fool you, let me know.
Stop pushing episode 1. We're on episode 7 now, Andrew, and we need to embrace it. You're just trying to avoid talking about this Nic Cage movie. Look, let's go back. I jumped around.
Remember when he was like, I drive, I hustle, I drive, and I try and make money?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I didn't get that recorded. Yeah, that was so good. What? I drive, I hustle, and I drive and try and make money.
money.
Do you think he means actually driving?
I don't know. Dude, I don't know.
That's a badass phrase. I'm using that tomorrow at work.
Yeah, I'm gonna update my LinkedIn profile and be like,
drive. I drive. I'd try. I mean, dude, it's badass.
So mysterious.
It's badass.
It's like, don't ask questions. I hustle.
We need merchandise, and we needed it yesterday. T-shirts with that on it, and Nic Cage's face. He'll sign off.
Dude, yeah, of course.
Dude, does he say no to anything? No. I think that's what it comes down to. He doesn't say no to anything.
Should we just only watch Nic Cage movies? I think you'll see that he does that voice.
No, he does. Stop with the voice.
Okay. Well, I'll prove you wrong later, but whatever. Hey, remember the scene where there's like angrily searching for diamonds and they find Nicole Kidman's diamond necklace?
Yeah.
Do you remember what happens next?
Yeah.
I predicted what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, watch, it's going to be like cubic zirconia. And the very next scene.
Hey, that necklace you got? It's
cubic zirconia. Watch, try and break it.
No. First he says, he's getting beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
And
to a bloody pulp. Like, they've shot him in the leg. They've like stabbed him with stuff. His hand is he can't use his hand ever again.
His hand is not crippled.
It's gone.
He is treating it like it is. Remember when he does that one motion? You guys can't see what I'm doing because you're on the radio. But when he's like,
they're on the radio. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're on the radio too.
Yeah, exactly. That was my point.
We're actually none of us are on the radio right now.
We're on the video. They're on the radio.
That's true. That's why they call it a
video.
We'll edit that part out, dude.
Yeah, that wasn't going anywhere.
No. You were gonna say something. Oh no. So he's talking about the diamond. Remember when he says to the guy? He says, "Do you know the origin of diamond?"
Oh, it came from the Greek term.
Adonis, which meant unbreakable. You know why? And he's like, it's like, what are they? Okay, by the way, you know what's hilarious? All this stuff that we described is taking place in this house. When they first break into the house, the guys are literally like, they're constantly reinforcing how quick they need to be in and out, right? They're like, we gotta get out in 10 minutes. And they're even saying stupid shit like,
they're calculating it.
Every 10 minutes that we stay longer, the probability goes up 10%.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, that's crazy, by the way. So you have a window technically of like several hours before you get to 100%.
Right.
I'm no mathematician, but somewhere in the range of, an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty weird.
So anyways, all that's happening, well, they're stressing that whole time. We gotta hurry. Well, now at this point, they're just listening to him talk about Greek lessons.
I know. He's got their full attention, dude. He's got them wrapped around his little broken finger.
The alarm company's called. They successfully sent the alarm company away. How? By just saying, no thanks, we don't need you to come out. And they said, okay, no problem. Worst alarm company ever.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They're fired.
But they still showed up, remember? The guy drove up?
No, they canceled the police call and then had an employee of the alarm company come out. That's not how the world works, I don't think, by the way.
Yeah, that was really weird. He was like, okay, all I need is a signature from a family member.
And they're like, no signature, we're going to go back to bed.
He's like, well, I've got to call the cops. And they're like, hang on. So the guy, throws on a robe and he's trying to be Nic Cage and meets the rent-a-cop guy at the door. And then his brother, the guy who's having an affair with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, two of the bad guys are brothers, by the way. We should have mentioned that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, the one
shoots the rent-a-cop in the head.
Yeah.
And he was like, I know that guy. He took my shift tonight or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I was like, is that what that was about?
Is that why he killed him? Because he didn't actually kill anybody else in that movie.
I mean,
just the guy that he hated at work.
Dude, things were really falling apart at this point. It was ridiculous. Also, by the way, those two brothers, they, the older brother, it's not even discernible that they're brothers, and it also doesn't seem like one's too much older than the other.
Sure.
But he insists on calling him baby brother the whole movie, which is just kind of an annoying
Baby bro,
gross thing. Not even baby bro. It's like my baby brother.
Was that Nic Cage that was saying that? Because your voice really.
Oh my god. What if you know how if you make a face, it could it could stay that way. What if you do a voice so much that
you'd scare off a lot of people. It's a terrifying voice. Save that for when you're 90 years old and totally senile and just don't give a shit. Damn teenagers.
We'll edit that part out. Should we talk about the end?
Yeah.
Really low energy in this episode, right?
What, with us?
Yeah.
No, super high.
Super high?
Yeah. You kidding me? So, did we talk about, like, the affair part? How about the fact that they... so, whenever baby brother would make eye contact with Nicole Kidman, they would flash back to a scene where... Because he worked for the security company, right? And it would just show, like, how when Nic Cage was at work, he was inside their home... You know, just kind of...
Always working on that alarm system.
Nicole Kidman. There's a scene where he's chilling in the pool. And then he, like, steps out of the pool and, like, they're making out or whatever.
These flashback scenes were hilarious. The eye contact is so... They also do, like, a filter on it to where it's kind of, like, noir-ish,
yeah,
right?
It's all, like, glowy and stuff.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And, but here's the thing, is that they had already shown those very same flashback scenes in the beginning when you first make the connection that, okay, Nicole Kidman actually knows this guy. They showed all those scenes all over again towards the end.
I think
for no apparent reason.
Well, I think they were, like, attempting to make it seem like we've learned more now and that Nicole Kidman is slightly in on it. And that's what they were trying to do.
But those scenes were actually pretty drawn out. I was shocked that they just showed them all over again. It was so weird.
I think that they
were struggling for like material or something, or they ran out, or
well, is it required?
They're trying to hit the 90-minute mark. I think
that's what it is, dude. I think there's some kind of thing where it's like if your movie is less than 90, it's like a book. It's like if your book is under X amount of pages, like it won't sell because people are like, well, I'm not going to pay X amount of money for that. So it's like people aren't going to pay a certain amount of money to go to the theater unless they're entertained.
Like a 70-minute movie.
Exactly. So you've got to if you've got a movie with no material, you got to jam 20 minutes of crap in there.
How about just not make the movie to begin with?
Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people consider that at some. I'm like probably this is like the one movie where we didn't mention the director.
Joel Schumacher.
Is it Joel Schumacher?
Yeah. He's pretty legit. I don't know what he's done though.
I have no idea what he's...
Lost Boys?
No.
Yeah.
What?
He did Lost Boys.
Was it just not like a different Lost Boys?
No.
Oh.
There were like a few others, but I haven't seen movies. It's a lot of stuff from like the 80s and 90s. I was like, eh.
And this was in 2011?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, should we talk about the end? Let's talk about the end, dude. The end is, I mean, okay. Let me. Do you have something else, right?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
No, you look like you got something
covered
else.
all my notes. Well, I wasn't sure, but actually, that's the thing. Is like, there's not a whole lot to.
There's not a whole lot else.
Although I feel like we talked about a lot of stuff.
We covered the whole movie. I mean, we did a great job, dude. We shouldn't feel bad about what happened here today. We did what we needed to do.
Yeah.
And look, if we
did a damn good job.
If we spend 45 minutes explaining to people why they should save themselves 90 minutes, well, we've saved them a net 45 minutes and the experience that we, if we sound like we've got, heavy weights hung around our necks right now while we're delivering this podcast to you, it's because we do.
We do. What we do is not fun. It's not enjoyable. We're trying to save you amazing people out there from watching these terrible movies.
Well, I had fun. Did you not?
Now you're having fun.
Oh, now.
Well,
I had
fun. With the podcast. But during the movie, we wanted to die.
No. This movie was confusing and nonsensical, and I hated it up until...
the very last scene. That's true. That's where things just went bananas.
Okay... This is a gem for anyone that...
remember the nail gun that's not a nail gun unless it's plugged in or something?
Oh, yeah. The one character...
Oh,
and you know what I just realized? That's just some shitty way for them to make sure that you know what the fuck that is for later.
Yes, it was a setup for that, dude.
Oh, that's so annoying.
It's really annoying.
But yeah, he was like... the girl picked up the nail gun, and the bad guy's like, that's not a nail gun until it's turned on. And it's like, I guess technically you're right, but it's still a nail gun.
Yeah.
So
why did they choose a nail gun, you might ask, for that weapon? So maybe, why don't you describe what happened?
Dude, I don't even... Okay, well...
They find a truckload of cash.
Yeah. Okay, it's important to know, they finally opened it... We didn't really cover the movie. They finally opened the safe.
There's nothing in it. Sorry.
Your delivery was more disappointing than this whole movie.
Well, I mean, you figure that, right?
No.
Oh.
No.
There was nothing in the safe. So fast forward to where they actually find the cash, because that's where everything goes down in the end.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Okay, so, you know...
Do you want me to describe it?
I'm trying to read my insane notes. So something like, it comes together in the last 15 minutes, but like by that point you don't care. That's when it's like, everyone's turning on each other, and the twists are kind of coming together, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, this might actually, like...
There's a few people that are dying, that are getting injected with that paralytic... Is that what they call it? Paralytic fluid something?
You know what?
What?
What if the reason Nic Cage talks that way is because he secretly injected himself in the mouth?
In the mouth? Well, that would totally make sense, although I don't think that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Unless... no.
Maybe he was so bored with what was happening. And he was like, no, remember, he didn't want to give him the code, so he was like, I can't give them the code if I can't talk, so maybe that's what he did.
Oh, do you think we just missed that, or they edited that part out?
Yeah, totally.
You're giving Joel Schumacher a lot
No.
of credit here.
You know what I'm giving? I'm giving Nic Cage a lot of credit in that he read into the character, and he's like, what would... wait for it. What would Kyle Miller do?
Oh, Miller.
Yeah. What would Kyle Miller do in this case? I know what he'd do. He would sneak that injection, shoot himself right in the jugular, and he wouldn't be able to. No one would be able to get his money.
Although, yeah, it paralyzes you, but then it also kills you. That's the thing.
Well, he was already as good as dead. He had no money. The bank took it.
The bad guys at the bank. They took all my money.
He sounds so much older than he looks. Oh, it's good. It's really good.
So back to the.
Okay, so for a second there, you're like, all right, what's happening? And then it's revealed that the money was hidden in the wall, in the area of the house where they're doing construction.
Yeah.
And it's like pouring out, and it's like, oh, okay, like this is cool. But at that moment, it's one of the many times where they do the whole thing where it's like, freeze! And so it's like, oh, he had the money, but he's got a gun on him. And then it's like, some guy comes up behind him, he's like, no, you freeze! And then it's like, oh,
and the
great.
guy who we thought was dead suddenly comes to life and attacks everybody. And it's like, no, dude, we saw you die earlier. Like, everything just totally stops making sense. Like, it's ridiculous.
And at that point, I officially hated the movie. I
checked out.
I was like, you had me. I was with you.
It punishes you for paying attention and actually caring about the movie.
But then, after you hate it more than anything, it comes
totally redeems itself.
And it does. You know how? Nic Cage is lying on the ground. He is literally within an inch of his life.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman has run over and she's comforting him. His daughter shows up and she's cowering down on the ground. And the only remaining bad guy, who is Baby Brother, not the guy who says Baby Brother, but the guy who's called Baby Brother, who had the affair with Nicole Kidman.
Obviously.
He is psychotic and he's scooping up all the money from the wall. Well, at that very moment, a fortuitous can of what I can only assume is lighter fluid tips over. Maybe kerosene, I guess, for the paint.
Sure.
Yeah. Tips over, it's spilling everywhere and leading a perfect trail to the money.
It tips over by itself.
Itself.
Everyone in the room looks over and they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So a ghost did it, but it's fine.
Yeah. Don't need to explain that. So then... What? Well, guess who's the hero? You know who the hero of this movie is? That lighter. That lighter makes more appearances than some of the characters.
It's true. Was this like promoting
Zippo?
Gold Zippos?
I mean, I want
to bring him back.
I kind of want a gold Zippo now.
Me too. Made it look pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Anyway, so he uses the gold Zippo.
But are you gonna? Sorry, you go ahead.
No. I've got the order. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
You got
I've got the order.
Good.
So he sets fire to the fluid. It lights up. It goes all the way to the money. Lights the guy kind of on fire, and he's freaking out.
It's kind of like symbolic because instead of running out of the house for his life, he's just more concerned with scooping up the money.
Yeah.
And at that point, he's also killed his brother too.
That's right. Yeah. Good point.
And so, but still, he's just laughing like maniacally, trying to scoop up this money. And it's a really crazy scene, actually. Sorry, I just interject with that.
I think you're going. You're going a little more.
No, I'm done.
So I can't remember exactly what happens. So the guy turns around and he's like, "But is that right when it happens?"
Yeah.
So apparently Nic Cage, who's like literally about to die, remember, grabs the nail gun that they alluded to earlier and fires off. Oh no! This is when he's holding Nicole Kidman. I don't know what's happening anymore.
No.
Oh, that was earlier.
He did the nail gun.
Okay, so he takes the nail gun and literally, like a freaking sniper, fires like 4 shots, rapid succession, towards the ground.
Right.
And has successfully nailed the guy to...
impaled his feet so that he's planted there and can't move.
Yeah, like, through his shoes.
From the ground, by the way. He must have had to really raise his arm up in the air and point down. Meanwhile, to your point, he's, like, within an inch of his life. So, amazing accuracy, right?
By the way, this guy makes no... The reason this scene is so asinine is that this guy makes no reaction to getting...
You're right.
Legit nailed to the floor.
Hurt. Like a bitch.
Instead, the only thing he does is try and move his feet unsuccessfully because he's nailed to the ground. Mm. And literally, like, that is the most like, at that point, I'm like, this movie has literally run away. It's such a runaway train. Like, that's awesome.
It was so crazy. And then he tries to coerce Nicole Kidman to, like, help kind of set him free. And, like, throughout the whole movie, he's, like, trying to seduce her, like, so that she'll, like, bend to his will, kind of. And that was his last... He's getting, like, burned alive. He's getting, like, engulfed in these flames. And he's like, baby, like, save me,
And then that's when he has the gun?
Yes.
So then he's like...
Yes.
He's like, no, so she has the gun, right?
She took it from him. She's like, put the gun down.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So he's like, he's nailed to the ground and he's burning. Mm-hmm. And she's like walking up to him and he's like, please save me. And he's like, put the gun down. She's like, put the gun down. So Nicole Kidman creeps towards him, convinces him to give the gun up. She grabs the gun and then points it on him.
Yes.
At which point then he, in classic fashion, grabs her, grips the gun back, points it at her, and then... Who's on the ground again? Nic Cage. Dude, this thing is so, like, blowing my mind so much that I don't even know
I'm like right there in the scene as we're describing it. I'm like, whoa, this is so crazy.
So now she's got a gun to her head. His feet are nailed to the floor. He's engulfed in flames. He's got a gun to Nicole Kidman's. The same gun that he just gave her. I don't even know how the fuck that happened. And then meanwhile, Nic Cage is on the ground, leans, and just pops off a few shots, killing the guy. And then he
falls back into the flames, right?
And literally we see his legit skull just burst into flames.
Right.
And it was like...
It was so graphic. It was just like, oh my god.
He's
just getting torched alive.
It was nuts. I mean, honestly, that 87 minutes leading up to that was kind of worth it based on that last 3 minutes.
Yeah. You know what? I would agree.
You guys should watch the last 3 minutes. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Go to download a Netflix account. That's not what you do with Netflix.
Just download that old account.
Just get yourself a Netflix app, all you kids.
The ending is cool. Everything up until that point, terrible.
And you know what? The problem is like I feel like the ending is only cool because we were forced to suspend belief. Like there were so many instances where we were like, I don't know how this movie like is expecting us to believe this.
I love that it like stayed true to its zaniness. It was just like we're just going to continue throwing the most wacky shit your way.
It took it up another
that's
level.
When I realized it. I was like, you know what? I can appreciate that. I feel like the director like knew what it was, and he was like, this guy's getting nail gunned to the floor, and then he's getting torched alive.
I feel like maybe there was like some writer that was like the director kept like forcing him into rewrites or something, and he was like, "Oh, this is the kind of shit you like? All right, fine." And then he just went crazy with it, and the director's like, "Yes, this is perfect." And the guy's like, "Really, you like that?" Like, because this level of like the nail gun.
It was shocking. It was shocking.
Honestly, how can we set this up? Like, you can't. There's no way you can be that accurate with a nail gun, and I don't think it's going to penetrate like that.
No. Well, dude, the whole entire movie was just so unbelievable. Also, we didn't talk about a pretty cool part. Oh, we didn't even mention the character. I'm sorry. Dude, how far are we?
An hour. Classic.
I know.
We pulled off an hour of this crappy movie.
Remember the lady that was one of the burglars?
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
She was also like one of the hostages. Remember how the daughter like went for a drive with her and then crashed the car but unbuckled her seatbelt so that she would go flying?
Unbuckled the girl in the passenger seat next to her seatbelt.
Yes, the burglar who had a gun to her head.
Yeah.
That was like a badass like moment of the daughter. And that was actually the first moment where like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was that. Yeah,
cool.
You're right. That's a good point. That was kind of in that part where I was like, okay, this movie's like kind of coming together. Like 15 minutes left in the movie, but it's kind of coming together. And then it was like
all
made
like
me
a lead up to the epic ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. We somehow managed another hour's worth.
Yeah.
That's
and then after
that's
that,
what we do.
After that scene, they're just sitting outside the house, and it's just getting just totally like torched, and it just crumbles, and then it's like,
and that's the end of the movie.
Boom, directed by Joel Schumacher.
You know what? I actually think that as he's laying there in the yard, he's literally like has gone through this terrible ordeal with his family and his wife and everything like that. And daughter, and this button's red, and I'm thinking that it's the mute button.
Oh.
We tested it, right?
No, yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Look at the thing.
Yeah, okay. If I was talking to myself for an hour about this movie, what was I talking? Oh, so the end. So they're laying there. They've gone through this terrible, like life-changing ordeal. The daughter's going to be fucked up the rest of her life because of this, right?
Think about that. Yeah.
And all he's doing is mumbling about the bank again, I think, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he like, oh, but the bank? And she's like, no, shut up, you. The wife is.
Yeah, they said like one thing to each other and then it was it. But I don't recall exactly what it was. But he was talking about like the bank.
I'm almost positive he was mumbling about... There's like some whole...
I wish that like his phone would have rang and it was like one of his clients and then he just had like another business call. Yeah, I'll tell you the diamond or something, and then it's like, boom, the end.
The end.
You know?
The story of a diamond salesman.
At that point, I would have been like, this might be my favorite movie.
You know what?
Watch it.
It really does give you an appreciation for diamond salesmen, you know? It's like...
accidentally it does.
Yeah, it's like, granted, these things are, inherently worthless pieces of condensed rock that are mined out of the ground by slaves, and there's a lot of murder that happens,
and you can't just steal them because they'll trace it back to you.
And
so don't even try.
So that's why it takes a warm-hearted, smart, caring diamond salesman like Nicolas Cage
with a funny voice to win your heart.
Yeah. I hope next time you guys go out and buy some diamonds, you think about Nic Cage and what he had to go through. He could have easily just said, "Yeah, I'll open the safe because I don't care," but he didn't.
Yeah,
he didn't.
Yep.
Because he knows that people like all of us need
you don't want to
diamonds.
Lose his leverage. Oh yeah.
Oh,
they need
and leverage. We need leverage and diamonds. That'd be a cool shirt too.
Leverage and diamonds. That's kind of badass.
Sort of a rap song, dude. We should do a little.
Leverage because I've got diamonds.
Well, no.
We'll work on it.
It seemed way cooler
until I attempted it. Yeah. Oh man. Well, there you have it. Episode 7.
I feel like we're just catching steam at the end. Is the thing,
That's okay.
Well, tune in next week where we'll.
We're gonna watch Blood Diamonds. So I'm just kidding.
Starring Leonardo DiCaprio, the guy who's never won an Oscar
ever.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are gonna watch a movie. I'll tell you what. Whatever movie we watch, it's gonna be slightly more enjoyable to us because we're not gonna do this 2 weeks in a row because it's just too much. And
it's gonna be even worse.
It's gonna be no. It's gonna be bad, but it's gonna be
still unwatchable.
Yeah, we got no ideas. We don't even know what we're gonna do. So send us some ideas.
Yeah.
We'll be here just waiting.
We've got a contact form on our new website. WWSYDHT.com. Something like that.
In hindsight.
/contact. Yeah, we probably should have
thought about it a little bit. Well, I think we were pretty sure we were going to change it, but...
I think I actually nailed what the acronym is.
No, you did. You're getting really good, dude.
So, Facebook, Twitter, website. Check it out. All right, it's episode 7.
All right. The bank took my money.
We'll see you next time.
Oh, terrible. All right, bye. Bye. Oof. Bye. Oh, should I...